Welcome, everyone. Those have been here before and new ones, everybody. So welcome. I'm happy we're here together today. A lot of earth changes are happening on our planet on many, many different levels. So it's quite an invitation to stay home and of course, being touched and staying home. It's so powerful to be able not to need to be dependent on the surroundings, even though we need to respond to our surroundings and our surroundings are responding to us. But to really, really deeply know that I'm free. There's freedom here. There's true beauty here. No matter what happens. And of course, it's always easier to say that when we're in a good place. Yeah. And it's not about transcending, as I call it. It's about inscending. Really go into the earth, into the body, into the embodiment of who you are. And it's good, here and there, there's a natural transcendence that can happen. But not to aim to, be out of all of this. I mean, there's so much beauty here. And yes, there's also a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. And how do we find balance in all of that? How are you with when a mother or father loses their child? How are you with them? That's I can't even imagine what that is like. You don't want to transcend that. You want to be here on earth and be here. You're pulled here with those extreme experiences. And for me, when I went through my kidney experience, pulled me even more deeply here into the body, into the earth, into here and now. It's very, it's quite something, as you probably have noticed, to live here on this earth plane. Yeah. And I imagine we're all longing for the same, we all want to be happy. We all want to have a good life, have good friends, just be free. Whatever that means for you. For us, it seems to be in a spiritual context, to be free from thinking or free from God knows what you want to be free of. For me, over the years, it's become really, really clear that really true freedom for me is to deeply know who I am, which there's just no I, there's open, pure being, silence, space. None of these words really touch it. But there's a vastness, a vast intimacy. So close that they're not two anymore. There's just this vast open intimacy. And in this vast open intimacy sounds really nice, but can we truly be intimate with whatever comes in our lives? If it's excruciating pain or excruciating pleasure, anything, can we be touched by that? Can we allow ourselves to be pierced by what comes our way. And I'm not speaking about being a doormat and I allow everything. No, there's also a place for boundaries. What is yes to what you say yes and to what you say no. And there's something about the more you're located, more anchored in and as silence, vast silence, vast presence, vastness, and knowing that's all there is, that's the ground, that's the anchor, and that vastness includes the earth, the density, the here, the body, all of you, everything. Because I don't know if you experience it or long for or have experienced or still hope for this sense like everything will be okay. I will, I can kind of delete everything that I don't want and keep all that I want. And I don't have to feel anything anymore. I had, quite some years ago, I had this idea that spiritual freedom or true freedom was I didn't need to feel so much anymore. That was a joke. I feel even more deeply because the form of numbness that was there because of the different traumas in my life. And I'm sure there's still some numbness here and there. That kept me away also from being even as, even so-called more intimate with all of life. So to me, it's not about deleting anything. To me, the awake life through the awakened body is to dare to taste all of life. And very easily in our psychology, we're kind of orienting to problems, worries, pains. Yeah. There's a deep groove in all of us till that comes free, but we're so deeply trained through religion, education, not so much to, hope one day I will be happy, but to really, be almost like a martyr, like I have to go through pain. I have to experience pain. Only when I go through the pain, then I get somewhere. And yes, there's a place for that. We all have our pain. But it's also learning to make a choice at some point. There is a choice. Where do I want to locate? Where do I want to locate? As long as there's an I, there's a belief that the thought is what I am, is what I am thinking. Yeah. And there's no I, where there's just the cosmic vastness of being, knowing that that's what you are. To anchor there where there's really no anchor, but there is an anchor. That's the vastness. But you can't hold it in your hands. But we are a product of that unfathomable vastness and mystery and that wondrous emptiness. You cannot grasp it, you can try. It doesn't work. The more we stop trying, the more we are able to let worries go, which means letting them be what they are. Yeah. Till we can more and more trust that this vast cosmos, this cosmic vastness, will take care of everything. no matter what happens. Spirituality is quite a trust game. A trust game in that sense that we really trust whatever is in front of us is perfect. Couldn't be better. It just couldn't be better. What if what is happening for you right now in your life or not happening in your life? This is it. This is perfect. This is perfect. Change will happen. You don't have to worry about it. Life is ever changing. That's the landscape. And simultaneously, there's this vastness. And when then we dare to be very, very intimate with what is, something changes. Because when we dare to be intimate, because it's a dare, it's a daring to be intimate with our lives. It's daring to be intimate with pain. It's daring to be intimate with pleasure. And as I spoke a little bit earlier, it's like in psychology, it's, when you go to a therapist, people feel like, oh, I have to bring a problem. What is a problem? And that's fine, because there's also curiosity. I don't want this anymore. Part of me believes this, and I know it's not true, but I cannot fully embody that. But when we come in a space like, oh, I'm actually happy in the moment. I want to just taste this happiness. I want to talk today about happiness. How good things are. Just so good. We're just sitting here. How amazing that we have these precious bodies and they breathe. I mean, isn't that a miracle? And we take it for granted. It's so natural. It's so natural. So when we come in that place where we can make a choice, something starts relaxing in our bodies. We come here. So we learn when we become really, really intimate. So say there's something going on in you right now. Perhaps something you don't want. Yeah. So why don't you close your eyes? Whatever it is, perhaps it's something in your body, something in your belly, or wherever in your body that you don't want, or something in your mind that you don't want, or your emotional body, or your spiritual body. Let's see what it's like to come really, really close. What is it like to say hi to that? Hey, good morning. Here we are again. What is it like to really allow yourself to be touched by this experience that is here right now? Take a moment to meet that. Go in relationship, perhaps in a love relationship with that ache in your belly or that mind fuck in your head, or that emotion, a deep ache of sadness or rage. You don't do anything, you just say hi and experience it. And then see while you are experiencing it, go in relationship, come intimate, as this is your deepest love in this moment. Just relax, just soften your belly. It's okay to relax. Soften your belly if you can. While whatever is here that you're intimate with, you stay intimate with that. Just notice what happens. I'm not trying to get rid of it. We're intimate in relationship with what is. And then relax, soften our bellies and shoulders. Let's be quiet for a little bit. And then let all go. And just receive the silence of your being, the underlying presence that's always here. When you notice your mind wandering, it's not really your mind. When you notice wandering happening, see if you can make a choice to rest your consciousness in that underlying silence, in that what is already still, without you doing anything. No matter what is going on in your body. And we rest as our ground, anchor in that vast silence. In our deepest love, I assume. Mm. Feel how your body is falling in that vast silence. It's almost like you feel your body being filled by that radiance of the silence. It's very still, becomes stiller, even when there are activated parts. You don't have to get rid of them. something becomes more alive, perhaps a subtle vibration in your body, more spaciousness in your body. And receiving the silent being that you are, this vast, silent being that you are. You are vast silence. So we're anchored, we're located as the vast silence, as this vast presence that has no end. It's everywhere. And our bodies, sitting in our seat, are resting in that vast silence. And without doing anything, just by sitting, feel how your body is being filled with, you could say, this realized presence, silence. There's nothing you need to delete. You don't need to delete pain or pleasure in your body. You don't have to delete any emotion, happy or sad. You don't have to delete any brain fog or intensity or wonderfulness. It's part of the landscape. And we rest on the ground of that landscape, which is this cosmic, vast, silent being. For the next 10 minutes, just play with that. When you get distracted, come back to resting as this cosmic, silent space being. While you're as intimate as you can be, resting as this cosmic silence. Whatever is being touched in your humanity, can you allow that to happen exactly as it is? So that you deeply know all of you is welcome, exactly as you are. Let the muscles be soft. And then slowly, slowly, let your eyes flutter open. And just being back in the space. And just feel this landscape here of silence. And who knows, a lot of busyness in your humanity. Whatever it is, it's fine. But just know we're in, I don't know if you can feel that, how coming together, how more and more we deepen together. So reason I wanted to talk about this intimacy with what is and being able to keep this cosmic silence as your home is, I don't know if you're aware of the so-called news that banks are crashing, and it's like just holding a question. What is it like when we lose our money, when you lose your money? Perhaps you don't have much money to begin with. Perhaps you have lots of money. But what if there's no money soon? A bunch of banks have gone bankrupt, and tends to be a domino effect. What will happen? Lots of different distribution centers of food, they have been burned down. Strange things have happened. What if there's no food? What will you do? What if you cannot use your credit card? What will you do? What if there's a big earth change happening where you live? What do we do? What do you do? Those are real questions to ask ourselves. How do we relate them to what's happening? How do we relate them? What if there's a big earthquake happens inside your body being? Storms happen every day, small storms, big storms, every few days. What do you do? And it's such a delicate balance to be able to rest as this cosmic being that you are, that we all are. That's all there is. And I don't know, but can you feel this incredible presence that's here? It's just so loving. It's always here. It's so intensely loving. That's what it is. Yes, it's empty of thought and feeling and sensation and God knows what. It's pure emptiness. And it's deeply loving, deeply loving. When we're able to rest here in that, as that, know that that's what we made out of, that's what we are. Then it's easier and easier to rest that as our anchor in the midst of a storm. Internal storm, external storm, relationship storm. No matter what storm, however small or big. I feel these times as a time of extremes, within, without. And especially when we're in times of extremes, we very easily go into separation. We choose one side, whatever the side is, left, right, up, down, black, white, God knows what sides there all are in this world of duality. And yes, we all have opinions. I have my opinions for sure. But how much do we hold on to that for dear life and forget ourselves, this beautiful beauty that you are? But also all those around us, this beauty that everybody is. We forget the oer connection, this oer-verbinding, we say in Dutch, this core of core connection that we have here, that's what we are, but also with each other. We start seeing the person in front of us as some whatever, dragon or whatever, not who they are. Yes, you don't have to agree with somebody else. It's not about that. It takes quite something to not have to separate ourselves. We can make a choice. I don't want to be with this person anymore. But how do we do that? Or you can make a choice in the midst of challenge. Stay connected. Can I be intimate with this challenge of like, wow, how are we with this? If we cannot figure it out, how can they figure it out in the world? I know with my best friend, we had about some things really strong, different viewpoints. And I said to her, but if I hadn't said it, she would have said it. I said, if we cannot figure this out, then who can? You know, if we cannot sit ourselves down here and talk in a humane way, how can we expect from anybody else to do that? So we did. You know, in the beginning, we had a talking stick to keep it civil. It was really beautiful because we both saw how tender can we be in the midst of our opinions and wanting to be right or wrong or whatever. How can I let myself be tender in that and felt and seen in that? That, you know, I love you, but I don't agree with you at all what you're saying. And it's a mutual thing. And to notice then over time, it's not about the opinions. It's nice when you're with someone and you're like-minded. It makes life much easier, tends to be. But there's something really powerful that you don't put love aside, that you don't put this cosmic silence aside, that's the core connection. And we had the agreement that even if this would mean we're not going to be friends anymore, that we would separate and do a ritual in love, in connection, if that's what meant to be. But that wasn't meant to be. So, but it's beautiful to go through a process. If it's your partner, if it's a close friend, or the person next door, can you let them have their opinions? Can you let them be who they are? Can you let yourself be who you are and not having to adjust? You know, because we're so trained to be different because we need to obey the church. We need to obey our parents. We need to obey our best friends, you know, want to fit in. And do we dare to be ourselves no matter what? You know, we don't have to scream it, but can I be me? This is it. Can you be you? It's very powerful when we can be really, really intimate with that true nature that we are, that cosmic, silent love, and my humanity and your humanity. For me, that's the highest practice to learn. Because in challenging times and in beautiful times, what gets us through is this deep bond of connection, affection, closeness, that intimacy. That's what gets us through everything. When I listen to the stories of the Second World War of my parents, you know, my father was a Jew and losing so many people, and my mom and my dad both sharing how children in the classroom were taken away, and God knows, what brought them through is their love and affection for each other, connection, love and affection, helping each other, people going out of their way, helping each other. And for everyone, it looked differently. And that brought a certain aliveness because you had to be here. You had to attend what was right in front of your nose. Very powerful to hear those stories. So today is really coming together in that connection as a community here online. Okay, we We don't see each other. We're all sitting in our own little room, safe in front of our screen. Yeah. And still there is a connection here. That connection, even when we close at the end today, is still here. It's in you. It's in me. It's here. And this field of coming together here will touch all beings. It does right now by us just be here. So important. So important. That's the action of love, so to speak. It's love in action. Meditation in action. Just meditation, yes, it's wonderful, but it's not the whole enchilada. The real, for me, the whole enchilada and the cream on top of a cake is that connection, is that love relationship. No matter how beautiful, challenging it is, there's something that wakes up in us, that's shaken in us. And yes, we all want to kind of have control and safety, and we all want to. Well, we not always want to be vulnerable and tender. But man, in that tenderness, it's so much beauty. As you see in a tender sprout in the outside, here that you have some tender sprouts coming through, and then it was freezing. It was actually funny. I was walking the other day, and I saw these tender sprouts of a tree. I don't know names of trees, and I was like, gosh, it's like it was just opening and it had been freezing, and I was just standing with that tree, just looking, and then just the words that popped out of my mouth were like, I really hope you get through this, because there will be more freezing coming. And I just heard instantaneously, I'm fine. I started laughing. It's like, okay, great. I'm so. So it's like, oh yeah, of course you're fine, And so simple, made me so intense happy, even sharing this. Any kind of intimacy, if it's with our land, if it's with our plant in the house, it brings so much life and happiness. And the more we make that connection, the easier it is to rest as that cosmic silence that you are. Because that's what you are. And that informs us and speaks as us and connects. It just connects. That's what it does. It equals connection. It doesn't equal separation. It equals connection. And now with my best friend, we have more deeper conversation than we already had. We had already deep conversations that people thought when we would be together, that they always thought we were a married couple, she and I. But in a way, now the conversations are even deeper, because it's not about her opinion or my opinion, even though we still share our opinions. That's just part of life. But it's a love that cannot be broken. And I wish that for all of us, that love that we are with ourselves cannot be broken. You're not breakable. You're no matter how much trauma you have, the biggest trauma on this planet, I want to say fucking planet, but no, on this planet, you're not broken. You are not broken. It's impossible. You may feel broken, but you're not broken, because what you are is unbreakable. Yes, perhaps you have more challenges in your humanity. Absolutely, I hear you. And you're not broken. And when you dare to own that, that starts informing your body and that awakening healing process. So know you are this cosmic silent being. And let your beautiful body be filled up naturally by just sitting yourself down. And let it be filled up by the silent presence of all that is. And if you cannot feel it quite well, go to nature. And if you live in a city, go to a park. Lean against a tree and just ask the tree, please show me this beauty of love, this cosmic silence, please. I want to know myself as you, as myself. The tree will show you. It will. It will. It's just us for us to receive it and hear it and feel it, taste it. And I think that's what's wanting to come out. So just as one last pointer, so no matter what happens in your life, in your humanity internally, an internal storm, however small or big, a storm of pleasure, a storm of pain. Relax back. It's the last thing we think about. So it's a practice to play with. When there's a big or small storm outside, relax back. And let this silent being that you are, let that come to the forefront and fill you up. It's a practice. It's a practice of cultivation, crucial in the awakening of your body embodiment process. Beautiful process, beautiful practice, very simple. Not always easy, but very simple. And the more complex, the more hard it is, really. So keep it simple. Okay. I guess that's wanted to be spoken. So I welcome you to share what it's like to hear this, where that touched you or not, or anything around your practice or your life, or anything you want to share about the deep silence, the beauty that you are, the challenge. Please unmute yourself or raise your hand, and love to connect with you. Yes, Christina.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Just your words of not broken. I just wanted to share that what came up for me was a song by a lady called Sky Edwards. And the song is not broken, just loose at the seams.
Say that again, the title?
The title is Not Broken, I think.
Okay.
But a lady called Sky Edwards. So check out that song, because I think it's very relevant when she says, oh no, not broken. I'm just loose at the seams. Like a seed you grow and goodness increases. You know, it's such a beautiful song. So that's what came up. So I just wanted to share it. I think you can easily find it on YouTube.
Yeah, great. Great for sharing that. Sky Edwards.
Sky Edwards, yes.
Yeah.
She used to be the singer of a band called Mochibo, I think. Yes, but this is a solo. And not broken.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I think it will resonate somehow.
Yes. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, great to see you. Catherine.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Marlies. It's just beautiful to be here. I was really struck by your sharing of your journey with your dear friend, and it really spoke to me because I have a friend who we've parted ways, and both our children are friends and have grown up together. So as a result, our children have parted ways. And I would say it's been one of the most impactful experiences of my life, actually, like a very deep tearing of my heart, a very, very deep, deep, deep grief. One of the deepest griefs I think I've ever encountered. And it just really touched me in that sort of projection that I can have on beings that I consider have more spiritual access than me, let's say. But just to hear your human story, and that human story, is there no matter where we are in our awakening journey. The humanness continues on, and the heart still can be, pulled from our chest, and so yeah, I just wanted to share that I've also encountered that grief with a friend, and it's given me courage to maybe come back to the intimacy of it and maybe try something else. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad something opens. Something kind of needs to break a little bit the other way around, huh? Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Catherine. I can see how it touches you. Yeah, let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Pam. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you for what you wrote in the chat. Anybody else that wants to share? Just unmute yourself.
I'd love to share.
Yes.
So I want to share a story for people here, if I may. So I'm in Colorado right now in a retreat center, but usually I'm neighbors with Marlies. And so I just want to say a little anecdote and then share my experience currently in question. But so to relate the story of that was this guy I was interested in, and I was meant to see him one day, and he fell sick the day I was going to see him again. And I had seen Marley sort of as a neighbor. You were over, and then as you were leaving, you sort of like planted the seed by just saying, kind of half jokingly, but half sort of, planting a seed of when, I can't remember how you said it, but like, oh, are you going to bring this person soup? And it kind of started this whole thing of like, just realizing that it was a brilliant idea and it wouldn't have occurred to me. And it touched me and got me excited. And I reached out to him, and it never came to happen, but he was really touched too. And so it was just this beautiful kind of seed of like, what does it mean to like, even when you don't really know someone, to like, already like orient to them as a person, as a human with like their like needs. This is such a caring gesture, really, that I was just so struck because it didn't, that sort of originated from your suggestion, Marlies, and here I am in a retreat center, and I just feel that I've been really inspired by that, and kind of using that as a theme a little bit these last few weeks of like, oh, how can I connect to this human in front of me, regardless of who or what they are to me. And yeah, it's just really challenging. I especially being here is all these new people, and you know, even my suitcase got lost, and someone who works here has been giving me some of her clothes, and I feel this numbness of not quite being able to take that in, you know, and I just recognize that that's sort of another opportunity for me to really like receive. And in a way, it's just like basic needs. I'm just like accepting, but there does seem like that there's something quite, yeah, I just want to say numb around experiencing that deeper connection and kind of recognizing little opportunities to bring that forward. And yeah, so that's kind of my question, like how do you recognize that? And yeah, and kind of come out of that numbness or something, or yeah, I don't know if you can speak to that edge. It's really just an edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's true. I think it is an edge, but also know, as you said, a seed was planted. So it's not only numb anymore. Something is more like, oh, what can I do? How can I connect? Even, for instance, when there are a lot of new people, or even when clothes are given to you, there's just the window is a little bit more open. Like, oh yeah, actually, it's actually okay to take the clothes. Well, of course it's okay, but I can take it in more. That's another little sprout of that seed. So it's kind of acknowledging kind of all these little bite-sized changes. Yeah? Because sometimes when it all of a sudden opens up, it's too much, you know? We think when we're frozen, immediately I need to be totally unfrozen. That's not necessarily always a good idea. It can be too strong for the system. So I would acknowledge every little sprout. So that you said, oh, thank you for the clothes, that you actually received them. That's a little sprout. And then see what else can happen today when you meet a new person. Like, how can you respond to them? Like, oh, there's another little sprout. Yeah? And just let those little sprouts be watered and felt and experienced. And then it starts growing. And then naturally that numbness gets less and less and less, step by step. You can still feel a lot of frozenness while there's something sprouting. And because we're so used to numbness, I know that so well myself, and then still is where we keep on focusing. And we forget that new seed because it's in comparison so small. And actually it's quite big, but it's just tiny. Yeah. So that what's being touched with that seed that you did put into action, keep on putting it in action, which you are doing. And then acknowledging like, oh wow, I feel a little bit, I can let it in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. The mind just like wants to be, but like how, like what are the, yeah, just, you know, it's a really humbling process. I think also just being, you know, in a new place and this, yeah, longing to find sort of tethers or something, just kind of has this sort of also urgency too, on a different level too, to connect. And so just noticing that and just like, yeah, there's just like a lot going on. And yeah.
Yeah, so acknowledging that. bringing that tenderness to that. There's just part of you is a little scared and a little shy, and that's okay. And that's another little seed, another little sprout to acknowledge that, not shoving that under the carpet. To really realize, yes, it's true. There's part of me is a little scared. Sometimes it can be good to, if there's anybody you do know, just go to him. Or if there's a new person that you feel like, oh, I'm actually curious about the person, just go to them and say, hey, hi, my name is Kali. What's your name? Are you excited about the retreat? Or just ask something simple. I remember it's kind of sweet you asked this question, because years ago I was with Barry Long, and I asked the same question to him. How do you do that? And he said, just go to someone and say hi. Okay, well, it sounds really simple. Doesn't mean there's no fear anymore, but it's just daring to take, it's a dare, I dare to take that action, and it's kind of feel the fear and do it anyways. And it's just a little seed that starts sprouting. And you can ask questions, where do you sit in the meditation room, or have you felt the beautiful energy there already? And curious how this retreat will be, or where are you from? Just simple little things, and then when you feel it's enough, you just go to someone else, or you go to the bathroom or back to your room and hide a little bit till you feel, okay, I can go to the second round. You don't have to endure. When you feel there's enough seeds planted and enough sprouts, then go back and go to your space, go outside for a walk or something else to have a break. Doesn't need to happen overnight.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's when some people describe their huge awakenings, right? And I think part of all of us want to have a big bang. I want to have the big bang, so it's all done. But it takes them years to get over that big bang and have it all settled. And it's not easier than step by step kind of slip into who you really are. We all need to go through in our humanity what we need to go through. That's my experience. And I assume it's your experience. It's just we're in a process. The more we deepen as that cosmic silence, the more our bodies change also, because it comes on another wavelength. So our body needs to kind of, you could say, I don't know how you best to say in English, but you kind of need to amp up that body without doing anything. But your body needs to kind of become bigger. Doesn't mean literally, but energetically, it comes bigger because it needs to be able to receive that bigger energy or higher wavelength energy, or to be able to behappen, we say in Dutch, like to be able to eat that bite by side by side, bite by bite. So yeah, be gentle with yourself in this process. It's intense, and there are periods that it's intensely, amazingly beautiful. It really is only intensely beautiful. It's just sometimes it's a little bit more comfortable than other times. But more and more in the midst of it, you will know you are, from your own experience, this cosmic silence that's filled with bliss and beauty and goodness, openness. And it always informs you. But we need to listen. We need to show up. You have to show up as you're here showing up today. It's a beautiful process. Anybody else that wants to share or has a question or refutations?
Hi, Marlies.
Hi, Babak.
I guess I could share. I was inspired by your talk and also by Kali's talk. It's funny. I find that, the more spiritual work I do, I get even more sensitive. So being social sometimes, especially like if I've been doing deep work, it's like, it's so hard because I could feel everything. So my practice sometimes is to do just do like little highs to people, and then it's almost like it's like a warm up to deeper conversations. But I definitely do feel like it could be a bit much, and I always thought that I would get better, but I feel like in a way it's more challenging to be social. At least that's my experience. And another thing I'd like to share is yesterday, a friend of mine, my really good friend, called me and basically told me a problem that she was having with me in a very compassionate way, but basically just this little thing that was triggering for her. And she did such a great job. And for her to say that was such a great lesson for me, and like in real intimacy. Not everything's hunky-dory all the time, and it's important, and I feel even closer to her now because she did that, and it was such a great lesson. So it reminded me of also your conversation with your friend. So
Isn't that beautiful, huh? It's so beautiful when everything is on the table, and when somebody sincerely shares with you, you know it.
Yeah, and there was I didn't feel bad. There was no residue because she also did it so cleanly. I'm like, oh, you could actually do it in a way where it's not from a place of triggeredness, and it lands, it landed for me.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because it takes two people being open and to also speak from a whole place when they can.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I can feel it when you share that sensitivity.
Thanks. Nice to see you, Marley.
Yeah, you too. And isn't that an opportunity to just come more intimate with our friends and with our family if we can, and with everything, with nature and with ourselves, not having to run away from ourselves or anybody else, unless it's a good idea to run away from someone, because in some cases it is. Anybody else? Sarah.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah.
I'm not doing a very good job of enduring.
Say that again. You're not doing a good job of
enduring. You mentioned the word endure.
Entering?
Oh, ENDURE. To endure.
I don't understand the word, even what you're saying.
Oh, no. Okay, let me take out my silly AirPods. That might be it.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's endure. Endure. Okay, sorry. I was like,
no,
what
it's okay.
Talking about? Okay, you say you're not very good in enduring. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to endure, and it.
Well, I just want to interrupt you. It's not about enduring.
No, I know.
Oh, okay, good. I just want to be sure that we're on the same page.
I guess I'm beautifully failing at enduring, and I know that I keep turning into puddles, and I do have to kind of like piece myself together to go to class or take a test. And it's very hard to know when I'm being like violent towards myself by trying to keep coming back to myself, like what would it feel like to just like completely be depressed and let myself fully be there and not go to school and like take a semester off. And I think it's just hard to know what intelligence is trying to work itself through me, because it's there's like I'm not fully showing up to my tasks, but I'm also not fully showing up to myself. So there's just like a competition, and it's painful to be enduring so much.
Yes. Yes. It's even painful to share, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah. 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 So let's have that whole here. Like the challenge of school, the hardship of that, and then the challenge, should I take a break or not? The hardship of that, kind of, and how to care for yourself. And just have this here on the table. Not needing to change anything, but see what it's like to kind of soften your belly. There's nothing we need to figure out here. We just put it all on the platter in front of us. Just let's all be kind of still here. And just see what it's like to soften your belly and relax back to the best of your abilities. Letting those movements on the platter move. Test, test, test. You have to do test. You have to stay in school. You have to do the testing. Yeah, it's very hard, but you have to do it. Test, test after test. You accomplish something. This is what you want. Oh, I want a break. I don't want this. This is too much. So depression. So hard. I just need a break. I need a break. I just want to rest. I want to be myself. Just be here. Have a life. And just have that all here while you're sitting back and seeing what it's like to hear all of that.
I think I just freeze.
Yes.
Because when I take breaks, I get stuck and I get lost in like my own depression and
Well,
insecurity in mind.
yes. So what does depression mean for you? Because that's a very general word. What
It's
does
like,
it mean? Yeah.
I guess clinical depression.
We take
like
the
my
clinical.
diagnoses.
We take the clinical out of it. What does, when you don't
I'm
think
stuck
about,
on a couch eating any like if there's a giant stick of butter, just wiping it on my face and then
yeah.
But not really having like life move through me, not being inspired, not being motivated, not feeling like connected to, just like super heavy.
Yeah. Dense and heavy. Yeah. And what is deeper than that? I don't know if you can taste part of that depression here right now, the quality of density or blah, of not inspired. And
Just like really, I think it's really scared and terrified of like any emotion. It just doesn't feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
There's like too much information that I'm not capable of like processing or moving through or solving.
Yeah. You mean too much information in school or internally?
Both.
Yeah.
But I meant internally in that moment.
Yeah. It's too overwhelming.
Yeah, like I'm not competent at dealing with like mostly everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So very human. It's like very, it doesn't feel like I'm trying to solve like seventh chakra. I'm like literally like, it's like lower chakra. It's like, I can't leave the house. Like I can't even fathom calling someone.
Yeah. And I imagine that's familiar in your life even before you went.
Yeah, I think I was able to mask it more, but it's definitely become more, the impact is worse in school when I don't have space or time to kind of hold it or compensate from it. Like I had a test I was supposed to take yesterday for 8 hours, and I went to bed at 11 and I just stared at the wall for 7 hours. I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
And it's just like, there's just cycles of my body and heart and mind just like not allowing me to perform. And there's just a lot of like, I'm very at war with myself inside and frustrated with my system and external systems, but feeling very incompetent to navigate them.
Yeah. I totally hear you. It's quite an intense landscape, huh?
Yeah, I know I can't solve it in like 8 minutes. I think I just needed to say it out loud because I think I was in it completely on my couch by myself. Yeah,
it's good that you made connection. Yeah. So see what it's like for right now to put your hands on your belly. Just breathe in, and let's everybody put your hands on your belly. I just do a simple resourcing practice that can be helpful to kind of break any kind of frozenness. So you're breathing in on a count of 5, and I will count. So breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then breathing out on a count of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one more time, breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then just feel your body and see what it's like to do this.
There's a lot of like anger at just like feeling so incompetent.
Yes. Kind of beating yourself up, huh?
Yeah, it's like hard and I should know better.
Yeah. And I mentioned that's familiar too.
Yeah, like having to navigate advanced education with like the level of diagnoses and deficits that I have are is like very not conducive to
Right.
like anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you go out for walks every day? Do you move every day?
No, especially when I'm a puddle. I am very excellent at not leaving my house.
Yes. And I think we all do that. I really want to encourage you to move. Your body needs to move, because when we move, we can change states.
Yeah.
Because it's just a state. I assume, is it like on a university terrain that you are, where there are all kind of, workout places or whatever?
Yeah. I moved away from campus. I live like across a lake. I went on a walk yesterday to the cemetery. There's a cemetery nearby that's the closest place I can walk.
Yeah. And is there a place, because it's really good to go walk, dance, weight lift, things that keeps your body active, because sitting is the worst for all of us, especially female bodies, male bodies too, but they're built a little different. Female bodies just need to move a little bit more, especially circling movements. Mm-hmm. Male bodies need less circling movements. There's more forward movement, like jogging or whatever. Female bodies need dance, move, circle. It's very, very important. So even if you dance in your home, you need to move, because it breaks that trance. It has a way bigger chance, because that's what needs to happen. And I'm sure, 100% sure, not 99%, I'm 100% sure you're not the only one. Going to medical school is one of the most challenging schools to go to. I know too many that had the same experience and share that. The intensity of school, the testing. I want you to know also you're not alone in that. So I want to give you a practice to do, okay?
Okay. I need some Marlies homework. That's not my homework.
So if you can, every day go for a walk, even if it's 5 minutes. Yeah. And then every morning, ask yourself, what is one good thing I can do for myself? What is one good thing I can do for Sarah? To be healthy, selfish. Those two things, very, very simple. Go for a walk every day, or something you love to do every day that includes movement, at least 5 minutes to start with. And ask yourself every morning, what would I love? What is one thing I would love to give myself right now? Yeah. To kind of get some goodness in, because otherwise we get so easily stuck in that frozenness and breaking that trance. And on top of that, if you can go to a gym or a really good dance class or some other form of movement you like to do, go for it. Because just sitting is not healthy for nobody, but especially when you study. Or even when you study, 45 minutes study, 10 minutes put music up to dance. That's how I wrote my thesis. Or prepared for tests. 45 minutes, I put the kitchen clock, 45 minutes work, 15 minutes dancing. I still know, I don't know people in the that's what I would do. I think you fell away for a moment, or I fell away for a moment.
I'm here.
Yeah, good. So something like that. And also just learn to love yourself in this. Sarah does all she can.
I know it's poopy though, but yeah, I guess I just need to accept
but that's
it's not gonna be perfect.
It's
yeah.
Of course you want to be all perfect and fantastic and supersonic, superwoman and whatever. And actually you are, because you're doing what you're doing. I think it takes tremendous courage to do that kind of study. studying psychology, what I did is a piece of cake in comparison to studying medical school. So be intimate with that Sarah that feels incompetent, but also with that Sarah that gives her whole heart and soul, because that's what you're doing. You're giving your whole heart and soul to do this.
Yeah, it'd be nice to enjoy it and not endure it.
Exactly. Perhaps it's asking yourself if this is really what you need to be doing also. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I wish. If you know, please tell me, because I don't know.
No, I cannot tell you those things.
I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I know, but go intimate with Sarah inside. Just go and embrace her. It's like, hey, how are you doing today? I'm learning to love you. I'm learning to love my body. Body, I'm learning to love you. There's something really potent here for you, Sarah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to hold some
you're
of
welcome. Thank you for sharing your tenderness. Okay, well, we need to come to closure for today. So let's just sit for one moment. Don't change your position, just sit and let this cosmic silent being that you are, let that touch all beings everywhere, that they will benefit from us coming together here today. And let that go. Well, thank you all so much for showing up. Thank you all so much for being here. Be kind with yourself. Thank you.